Overdose 1. Wrong choice.
We got a great one for you. As I said, I'm Dex. That's Parker. We have a special guest, and we are just get ready to laugh. Get ready to laugh at his laugh, at least. So you're gonna laugh regardless. It's very what's the word I'm looking for, Parker? When you do something and someone else does it. Come on, thesaurus.
You do something and someone else does it, like a mimic, a copy.
Yeah, but the right word I'm looking for. Like if I laugh at this, if I sneeze, someone else sneezes. I yawn, someone else yawns.
I bet our guest knows the answer.
Hey, guest, what word am I looking for?
I was gonna say vicariously, but that has nothing to do with what you're going for.
Very influential laugh.
No, it'll come to me like 18 minutes into this, and then I'll remember.
Just shout it. Just shout it, no matter what we're talking about.
Fuck, what's that word? All right, hey, our guest is Dustin.
Hi.
All right, as always, we are going to start with my favorite segment, fun facts, hashtag next gen stats by Parker Johnson.
I'm still trying to think of the word you were gonna say. Infectious. It's an infectious laugh.
It's almost infectious.
There's a subreddit dedicated to that, isn't it? All right, next gen stats.
Parker, I started that subreddit.
All right, so this first stat is actually going to be created right now, because I want our viewership to understand how professional the operation we run here is. Is either of you wearing pants right now?
Nope.
I'm wearing pants.
You're wearing pants? Dex is not wearing pants. I'm wearing shorts. I don't know why. So that's 1 for 3. It's actually better than I thought we were going to be. So that's our first stat. On average, 1 out of 3 people are not wearing pants on our podcast. Next gen.
I've actually never worn pants for our podcast.
Really?
Yeah, never.
I try to crank it down to like 50 when Amber's
contagious. Fucking contagious.
He said contagious.
Did he?
He did. That was the first thing he said.
That infectious.
Infectious?
Oh, you're right. You're right.
I said infectious.
Same
Fuck,
thing.
I'm stupid. All right. Sorry. It hit me, and I had to say it. Parker, pants, not wearing. Me neither. Dustin is.
Should I be taking my pants off?
Yeah, you can take them off right now if you want to.
Oh, I don't know. I'm committed.
Committed to the pants. I like your confidence in your decisions, Dustin. All right, next stat. So ref Hugo Cruz was fired for missing a clear false start in Week 6, mid-season. How many refs have been fired mid-season in the Super Bowl era?
0.
Yeah, that's the answer.
No, I got one right.
All right, fuck you, Dustin.
Ding, ding, ding.
You got it, buddy.
That might be the first correctly guessed next-gen stat all season.
It was not guessed. I literally told that to our Slack group, and I'm kind of offended.
All right.
I literally said that. Hey, this is the first time it's happened since the Super Bowl started.
You said that in the Slack group?
Yes, I said that.
Doubt it.
Because it was against the Browns Chargers. And I remember even watching the play where they're like, we can't do this anymore.
Well, if you have a podcast to document that, then...
Oh, I don't, but I got a Slack chat and I can screenshot. I'm going to find it before you can delete it.
It's probably gone already. All right, final one. Who on the Raiders has the most targets since Amari Cooper and Marshawn departed?
Jared Cook.
Dustin, do you have a guess?
I have
Dustin
no idea.
doesn't know anyone else.
I don't know anyone beyond those two people.
That's
on the
fair.
Raiders.
Jalen Richard with 8.
Fuck.
Oh man.
Jared Cook has 5, by the way. That's my next gen stat segment. I hope you all enjoyed it. Welcome to the next gen.
All right. So with that, we have another next gener, fucking millennials. With their
I prefer the name
stat-
Caitlin.
This is gonna be a good one, boys and girls. All right, so Dustin has some next gen stats for us as well. Dustin, take it away.
All right, let's do this. This will be in the form of some trivia. I've basically accrued all of the stats between the years of 2015 and now. You know, the real seasons that matter, not the one where Dex got good, good scores on.
Say it.
But
we don't talk about that. We don't even talk about that in reference.
The years that don't
never
matter.
forget.
Yeah. The years that don't matter. So I've accrued all of the stats, win-loss ratios between each individual personal scores, and I've been able to pull out a lot of good data on what's going on here. So let's just start off with Who do you think in the league has the most wins out of anybody else since
Let me guess.
2015?
Dustin.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, it's me at 33 wins with Paul at a close second for 32. And then it's a huge gap until Daniel with 27.
Damn. And then after that's got to be, at this point, it's got to be me or Miller.
Let's see, Parker.
Charlie?
Not
No,
Miller.
it's let's see,
Charlie.
1, 2, 3. It is Parker for fourth. And the worst person's technically Gab because he hasn't been around for many seasons. But if
Right.
you disregard Gab, it's Andrew
Got it.
with 20 wins.
He has the worst?
He's
Andrew
the
has
worst.
the worst?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, next to Gab for like raw
Right.
wins, it's very difficult to
Makes
let
sense.
Gab compete.
Yeah.
You
But-
give him the average.
Yeah. Well, it's the total, but if you look at the ratio between wins and losses, who do you think is like a mix of the best
The
player
biggest.
versus the luckiest person for not losing so much?
Wait. So you're
I don't
saying
understand.
like points scored compared to your actual...
It has nothing to do with points. It's just raw wins divided by raw losses.
Who
Wait,
has the best ratio?
Yeah.
Dustin.
That's got to be you still.
It's still me.
Yeah.
I have
that
33
like it wouldn't change. It'd
No.
be the same order.
Well, no. Actually, Paul, I have 33 wins and 17 losses, but Paul has 32 wins with 21 losses because
'Cause
I've gotten
it-
bye weeks way more frequently.
Oh, you're
than he
counting
has.
playoffs?
Oh, including playoffs.
Playoffs.
These
I should
stats
have
are
included
shit.
that.
Go back home and redo every stat.
Yeah, because to be fair, even in the NFL, they don't the record and yeah. But hey,
But
we
either
appreciate
way,
the work.
Either way, it's the entirety of
You're
the,
better.
Of the
We
jam.
get
That was
it.
a
You
sneaky
have more.
question. You're being
And-
docked one stat with
All
after
right.
that.
All right. Let's move on. Let's move on. I know there was some interest in the most consistent player in our league. So I took everyone's personal scores. This is up to date to this week.
Fuck, I'm not in this.
It's up to date to this week. Who do you think has the least standard deviation between their scores year to year? And the way I calculated this was I took everyone's standard deviation each year and averaged them together.
Dustin, because I had to explain this to some people, just give them a gist, Dustin, of what the deviation means.
Sure. So, like, if you're a very
You're welcome,
consistent
Brad.
player, if you're a very consistent player and you score 5 points a week, it's going to be 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. However, if you're an inconsistent player, or with the first guy, your average is 5. Very consistent. Small standard deviation.
Standard deviation of 0, right?
Yeah, basically, it's uncalculatable. But with if you were to be a person who scores 1, 9, 1, 9, 1, 9, your standard deviation is high, but your average is still 5. So it really measures consistency.
Got it.
All right. So for other people, all he had to say was the consistency of how well you score.
Well, that's
But
what
I
I said.
appreciate the effort.
Anyway, so who do you think is the most consistent player to date in our league?
Gabe.
Daniel.
It's Brad.
Fuck.
What's the standard deviation?
His standard deviation is about 15.57, and the most. Who do you think is the most inconsistent?
Dex.
It's Mike.
Oh,
I couldn't believe it myself.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
It's straight up Mike with a standard deviation of 20.99.
Parker.
Wow. What?
I was until you move your beer out of your mouth.
Ooh, this is one of my favorite sections where we get to see who's undefeated against anyone else.
Oh my god.
So, yes.
Hey, ask me if I'm undefeated against Paul.
You're not.
Is
Okay.
Paul? Wait, what year does this go back to? 2015.
2015, everything goes
Is
back.
Paul
And
undefeated against Dex?
Nope. I beat
No,
him in the
not
playoffs.
undefeated.
I
Once.
beat him in the playoffs.
Yeah, this
That was
includes
when
playoffs.
he scored like 54 points that week.
So,
Yep.
Pick a team that's never been in the playoffs. Got it.
Okay. Who do you think?
I've never lost to Brad.
That's correct. That's one.
Ding,
Who's the-
ding, ding.
Who's the other person you've never lost to?
It's not
Dex.
Miller because I lost to him this year. Have I never lost to Mike?
No, you've lost to Mike 3 times.
You dumbass.
This is a hard game. I'd like to see you play next. I've never lost to. I know I've lost to Charlie. Never lost to Gabe.
Yeah, that's true. You've beat Gabe twice and lost none.
Damn straight.
So yeah,
It's gonna stay that way.
Who have you never beat?
I've never beat. It's either Daniel or Charlie.
No, it's me, motherfucker.
Parker, when are you gonna learn?
When am I gonna learn? All right, let's do Dex's stats.
Hold on. I beat you 5 times.
Oh
And
damn!
you
Wow.
beat me none. That's
Wow.
5-0, sir.
Holy shit!
All
When do
right,
we
Dex.
play next?
Dex, who is the only person that has never beat you in fantasy football?
Is it Gabe?
No, it's me.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Dustin,
Why does he get all the nice questions?
No.
He
Wait,
gets all the easy ones.
wait, wait, Dustin. So you know we play each other later this season, right?
Yeah.
You know the week we play each other, Kansas
Is it
City's
week
on
12?
bye. Kansas City's on
Oh!
bye.
No, I was really. I remember looking at that, and I was really happy that you were the one that I was versing because you're like last place.
Oh, thank you.
If I'm gonna give anyone a win, it's you. I have Hunt and Hill, and there's.
That's not. We'll talk about records later, but yeah.
Anyway, who is the? Here's my final question for this segment, or for this section of data.
We get it.
Who is like who's beat?
Ron Burgundy.
I'm Rod Burgundy. Who has beat another person the most?
Wait, what? So like Parker,
like-
you beat
so, like-
Parker 5 times.
Yeah, so that's one.
Right.
But
So
like,
who-
there's a stat higher than that. Can you guess what it is?
6? Oh my god.
Paul and me.
No, your record with let's
That'll
see,
be
your
5.
record
I've only beat him
is
once.
5-1.
5 to
so-
1.
I have beat Paul 7 times.
Nice.
Holy shit.
Favorite
Undiv-
stat.
Undefeated. This is my favorite stat of the entire thing.
That's crazy.
Is I have beat Paul 7 times.
Wow.
And he's supposed to be the best at fantasy, so I don't know what that's about.
Nah, he's shit.
Who the fuck said he's the best at fantasy?
You never heard that on
All
this
right, hold
podcast,
on.
that's
Okay,
for sure.
Time out.
He tries the hardest.
For our guests, we're open to all race, genders, intelligence levels, as you can tell from that. So don't mind Dustin when he says stupid shit sometimes. Now you can go on, Dustin.
All right. I'm just gonna cruise through the rest of this undefeated jam,
Yeah.
just to get through it.
Let's hear it.
Andrew is undefeated against Mike. Charlie is undefeated against Andrew. Let's see. Paul has 1 win against Gab. That's not very fair, but he's undefeated. Andrew's never beat Gab 1-0. Daniel's never beat Gab 2-0. And yeah, everything else has been covered for
So
that.
Gab is the most undefeatedest person in this league, huh?
He hasn't been around long, so it's
Right.
a little skewed, to be honest.
If I was him, I would get a shirt that says that printed directly on. Most undefeatedest in the league.
That's a good word. I like that.
Thank you.
Undefeatedest.
Prince of shirts.
So I also have here our league averages, which I'm just going to say it's not worth a question. Our league average for 2015 is about 89.6 points, 2016, 93.6 points, 2017, 102.06 points, and 2018 jumped up because of the extra flex spot by around 20% of 124 points.
We had
I took-
a way bigger jump than I thought we would.
Yeah, I was gonna say 20% for a flex spot is a lot. 20 points.
How many points
a
is
lot.
20%? That's got to be 20, right?
It's just roughly 20%. Yeah.
That tells me that that extra player allows
No,
us to
so-
play that player.
no,
That
all
can you
right.
shut the fuck up for a second?
But I'm gonna tell you why you're wrong because they already read this.
Well, I haven't even been wrong yet.
Okay, say it.
That tells me that extra player allows us to not miss out on the boom on our bench, like that would have happened before.
You
Alex.
may not be wrong, but from what they said about this is the most points that have ever been scored in the first 7 weeks of a season.
It's interesting. That's also
Yeah,
true.
most passing yards, most touchdowns, most points. That's what I was getting at. And it's their thing was because they're talking about how like the refs or not the refs, but the rules are tailored more to high scoring offense now.
I would like to see if like the total points scored across the NFL distribution, like across all of our potential distribution across our teams, matches that 20% as well. Basically, there's 20% more fantasy points scored in general.
On
You
top
have-
of that, that's a great segue rather into who do you think has scored the most in our season? I think you might know this, Parker, because you were close to
In this season?
or in since 2015.
Oh, it was Miller.
How
No.
many points?
Miller scored the
It's like
most.
169 or something stupid.
It's 2017. Andrew scored 165 points. You have a close second this year at 161.2.
It's craziness, man.
It's crazy.
Jesus Christ.
Who do you think has scored the lowest in our league? Not
Mike.
counting Kit.
It was Mike. He had like a 50er.
He had a 42.4
There you go,
in
yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
However, like I'm not counting Jesse, who has a 38 in 2015.
How is that
but-
even possible?
I don't know, man.
Dude,
I
if
don't
you
like-
look at Jesse's old stats, dude, they're so fucking bad. He was
The
so
first
bad.
year, Jesse was like ranked higher than me, and I went to the championship against the other fuck.
First year doesn't count. That's how you know.
Whatever. Let's go. Next stat.
All right, next stat. So I took the averages of every year and I compared everybody's average for that year. And I tried to look at who was above average and who was below average. And there's only one person that's been consistently above average every year. Who do you think that is?
Every year since 2015.
Yeah,
So never a year below average. The average
never
points
a year
scored.
below average.
Daniel.
It's Paul.
Oh wow.
It's Paul. Okay, moving forward, we're looking at points for versus points against. Who do you think, this is since 2015 added together,
Mm-hmm.
who
Including
do you
this
think-
year.
including this? No, not including this year. Just 2015 to 2017.
Okay.
Dex has most
So
points.
clearly
against.
Gab is going to have a hit on this.
Dex wins.
Who do you think has the most points for?
We both said Dex.
No, points
think
for is
Oh,
Paul.
points for. Yeah, it's. Well, he scored the most last year. I don't know about the years before that, so I guess Paul is the best guess.
Nope, it's you, Dex.
I scored the most points.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but you have the most points for at 3,949.
Wow.
Second to you is Paul at 3,925. And then last place, obviously Gab, but second to last place is.
Oh, you didn't count this year. You said that.
I said that, yeah.
Yeah.
And-
Last year I had like I didn't make the playoffs, but I had like the third most scored points or something.
Yeah. The second to last place is Bread at 3,475, who has
And
a
the-
competing chance for because he's been around the whole time we have.
Right.
Who has the best points for to points against ratio?
Parker.
So like they've been fucked the hardest, or they've been fucked
No,
the
no, the
least
least-
hard?
It's like the points against is like how unlucky you are, like how
So
how-
whose gap is the smallest, right?
it's not the smallest,
which
it's
way?
the biggest gap. It's actually the biggest gap between points
Oh.
for and points against.
Okay.
So best player versus luckiest, kind of.
Parker.
So who's
Parker's
the
the
best
luckiest.
player? Okay. Damn, I can't. I had an answer and then I got confused. What is it? I don't remember.
It's me, gentlemen. I have 3,860 points for and 3,512 points against, giving me a ratio of 1.09. The ratios aren't very far off, but
Hey, real quick, can I say something?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I got some crazy deja vu right now,
yeah.
which is weird because we have all these podcasts recorded.
That's cool.
Next gen stat. Next wow. Truly
I
fascinating.
just thought I should let you all know in case something bad happens to me. You'll know that I knew it was gonna happen.
Where do you guys think you fall in the points for and points against deal?
So what was who you just told us you're the luckiest?
Mine's very
Well,
tight.
I'm
Well,
the I have the biggest variance.
Well, I'd say the luckiest person is Gab because he has the least point. Well, not Gab doesn't count. Let's see. 9. Oh, I am the luckiest. I have the second
You-
least points scored against me.
Wait, I thought you were on the other stat where you were the.
Parker, you're hearing him incorrectly.
Okay. Here's the deal. The
Just tell us. Hey, here we're gonna make this easy. List who's the luckiest to the unluckiest in a row. And
Okay.
Gab, you're not count because you're lucky enough to be in this league.
That's true. He gets number 1. So unluckiest based off of points against alone. The unluckiest person is Bread. The second unluckiest person is Dex.
All right.
Third is Paul. Fourth is Mike. Fifth is Daniel. Sixth is Andrew. Seventh is Charlie. Eighth is Parker.
Yes.
And me at ninth for the luckiest person.
Parker, I'm so proud of you.
So
Making the
luckiest just
playoffs
means
every
that
year.
you, like, your points for and against are closest.
Oh, if that's what you're looking at? No, like the
No,
far.
Parker. The
That's
farthest
what I would
just-
say. It means
I
that
just
you barely...
explained the stats I just laid out was the points against rankings. If we look at the ratio of points
Oh,
for,
I see what you're
which is
saying.
skill,
I thought we were
and
still talking
points
about
against-
ratios.
Oh, we can go to that right now. I'll run through those real quick. Points for is skill. Points against is luck. Right.
All right, Dustin, we got to
So-
get better stats that are easier for our audience to understand.
There's at least half of us that
talking.
can get it.
Yeah,
I was
I'm excited.
getting it. Sam's
kind of.
interruptions.
Yeah.
Anyway,
If I understood it and you didn't, Parker, that's what scares me.
I just missed one word. I just had to clarify.
so the best player by ratio is me. The worst player by ratio is Brad.
That makes sense. Yeah, I was confused because like last year I won so many games against teams that were swinging way under their batting average when they played me, and that would be
Sports
interesting.
analogies, I love them.
Hey, I don't even give a fuck about baseball either.
All right,
I'd like-
Dustin, give us one more next gen stat.
I
to
got
head
you
off
one
to the
more.
next one.
I got you one more, and I know
Okay.
everyone's curious about this.
To the zinger.
What draft order is the best draft order to have in our league? It's clearly different from league to league, but
So,
the
you-
way.
okay, sorry, I
Go ahead.
apologize.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, so what you're saying is, on average, this position ranks higher than most.
Yes,
So,
and it's quite interesting. It's not what
Alright.
I expected. So the way I
Alright.
got this was I took everybody's draft order and I compared it to the final standing that they had at the end of the year. And I also observed like if they made playoffs or not. So in order, the best position to draft at is position 7, where everyone who's drafted position 7 made playoffs for all 3 years. Their average ranking at the end is about 4th place, which is compared to the worst 6. So it's not too much difference. It really doesn't matter in the end. And
wait. So did you just say position 7 is the best and the worst is
Position-
6?
no, position 7 is the best. Position 8 is the worst. Nobody in our entire league who's drafted in position 8 has made it to the playoffs.
Wow.
On top of that, their average final standing is 7.7. So 7 or 8.
All right, another next then. So 8 is the worst.
8 is the worst, 7 is the best.
Who drafted 8 this year, boys?
Is that you?
I don't know.
No, motherfucker. Wasn't Dex? Daddy Dex was 9. Mike was 8.
Oh, that makes sense. That makes sense. It's
Yeah.
following the trend.
Hey,
Where did you draft?
are you talking to me? You gotta say.
Dex, where did you draft?
I just said 9. Daddy Dex 9.
9. That's the third best spot. What about you, Parker?
Drafted third.
Third is,
Bell.
second to worst spot.
Second to worst. Wow.
Yeah.
Did you get
Or
these
third,
from?
third to worst. Sorry.
Did you get these
Third.
from ESPN's like recap of the draft?
I mean, I just took draft order, which is I took draft order and final ranking through.
Well, where'd you get
ESPN.
draft order from? Is what I'm asking.
You can get it at ESPN.
Okay, I was curious because I don't know if ESPN has those numbers accurately. To be honest,
Really?
Because ESPN's input tool is so shit that when the guys usually do it, they just like fucking throw it all in.
Oh. Well, if that's fucked up, then I'm fucked up.
Yeah.
on
Well,
this.
that was very interesting. Actually, I liked it a lot. We're just gonna say you're right and move on because
yeah.
that was Mike's in last and he sucks. He's not gonna make the playoffs
Yeah.
again.
One more thing.
Yep.
One more thing I'd like to plug. All of this data is going to be on the blog, the 10 Guys One blog, dropping Saturday. So enjoy.
The 10 Guys One blogcast.
Blogcast.
Now we move on to my least favorite segment that has come is the week before's results. So I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, I always put my matchup last. I'm tired of that. We're gonna rip the band-aid off. Dextric Michelle Abeda 103, Paul 139. Almost the highest scorer that week was Paul.
I'm gonna actually pull this shit up real quick. Week 8?
Week 7.
Week 7?
Yeah.
It was week 8.
It was week 8. I wrote it wrong on here. Oh, I wrote wrong right there.
All right. Hopefully that's good enough for our lovely viewers at home. Let's see. Where did you get shit on in particular, Dex?
Life.
Life,
But
everything.
we're gonna start there. Let's see. The biggest thing, like Melvin Gordon wasn't playing.
Yep.
And
big
then
one.
with that, I usually get a solid 20 pluser from Melvin Gordon. So that would have jumped me, and I'd say I'd be around a 125. Still would have lost to Paul. Can't do nothing about Texans D. Jordy Nelson, my flex was garbage. Yeah, it's a real interesting time for me right now.
I feel like you just didn't have anyone post 22 plus points.
Yeah,
And that's
Travis
like a killer right now.
Travis Kelce. I started 2 tight ends though, guys. And look at that. 16.9, 15.4.
Actually
You can't
very
be mad
impressive.
about that. Yeah.
You
You
started
can't.
2 tight ends?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So did Daniel.
Really?
Daniel and I both started 2 tight ends this past week.
That's a good segue. Let's see how Daniel's matchup went.
So Daniel played Mike. Daniel lost to Mike 90 to 107.
It's because he played 2 tight ends.
I wonder if anyone who's played 2 tight ends has won their week. There's a next gen stat.
Well, since we've only had 2 people do it, no.
Holy shit, Daniel's team did so fucking bad.
That's with Todd Gurley putting up a 30 burger.
Dude, he's got Todd Gurley at 30, Tom Brady at 13, and everyone else is under 10. Everyone else is under 8.
Carlos
Except for
Hyde.
Zerlian.
How do you get 1.1 points
Wow. What a shit week.
on 6 attempts? I guess that's not a lot, but still.
That's crazy. When is
That's
Gurley's
2 yards
bye
per
week?
attempt.
12? It's going to be a shit week for Daniel. Wow. What a come to Jesus moment. Gifting Mike a win, too, bringing him up to 3.
Fuck yeah.
All right, next one.
Next game, Gabe versus Dustin. We got Dustin here. Dustin, you put up a 132 against Gabe's
You know it.
125. What do you think was the thing that brought you there?
You know, every year, I swear by it, Gotskowski. He brought me, he kept me alive. Like,
13
if
points.
Gotskowski did not keep me up, he would have outscored me.
Did you not? You didn't draft him this year, too.
No, I didn't. I thought last year he let me down a little bit. He lost a bunch of points. He missed a bunch of kicks. I started to lose faith because he's old as fuck.
Well, the
And,
crazy part is Gabe paid a shit ton of money for Larry Fitzgerald and left him on his bench while he put up 22 points.
Wow. What a
I know
game.
the first week, which is hilarious because every time Charlie drops a player, they score at least 20 points. I got Gotskowski because Charlie dropped him.
Now that's
Who
the
scored
next gen
22 points that week, I think.
Holy shit, you're playing like 4D underwater Mahjong while we're playing checkers, dude.
What? What was Bajan?
You never heard of
It's me.
Mahjong?
Yeah. It's that Chinese thing.
You never seen Mahjong
Isn't that called
before?
isn't that called Chinese checkers?
No, that's different.
Okay.
Mahjong, those tiles that you gotta match.
Like, bro, you're playing Chinese checkers while we're playing checkers.
That's funny. That was like that one I made of the joke with you, Parker, that no one was a part of but me and you. All right, next one. Charlie 125, Brad 113. Brad, you really need to learn when to start the right quarterback. I guess you do it sometimes. I guess that's the life you live.
Dude,
That's
if
the life
Brad picked up
lives.
his quarterback off the waiver wire and started him, he would have probably scored 40 points. But
I was gonna say because Brad's quarterback scored 12. Brad literally would have beat Charlie by point. Oh, they would have tied, and then Charlie would have beat him by bench points.
wow.
I'd like to say I traded him Roethlisberger, and he definitely shouldn't have started him that week.
Against Cleveland,
Yeah. Well, maybe. But compared to his other quarterback, well, who's his other
Cam
quarterback?
Newton against Baltimore.
You pick Cam Newton.
You just let Brad do what he's doing. He's got a better record than me, so I'm gonna be quiet.
the second
Fuck
Brad
me.
starts listening to advice is when he starts doing shit because that man lives off
Well, Brad
of hype
doesn't
and luck.
listen to any advice at all or trades, but That's neither here nor there. We're going into Parker versus Miller. Parker, big dick in it. How many ices have you given this year, Parker?
What? Why can't I find my own fucking? Oh, Parker versus Miller. Johnson. That's right. I've given 3 ices this year.
And this was your third this week against Miller, who Miller put up 127. Would it be everybody but Paul and Dustin?
Miller's really helping out my points against argument where I'm getting super unlucky this year. So thanks for that one, Miller.
Oh God, I
What?
swear to God, you guys let Parker like act like, oh no, and so the gods feel bad for him. Like it drives me insane.
Let's see. Yeah, James Conner with the 35 really saved my ass here. Jimmy Graham had a touchdown called back that made me pretty sad. Other than that, Wendell Smallwood actually performed. Jalen Richard with the 10-point floor. I like that.
I was
And-
wondering if you were going to start Smallwood.
No, I might have to. No, I'm going to start Richard this week because Tate got traded into a bye week. But the Russell Wilson start was my favorite play of the week because I've had him on my bench all year, and I was like, this is the game. This is definitely the game. It worked out.
Luckily, it doesn't matter. If you would have started Stafford, you still would have won.
Yeah.
But it would have been a lot closer. Also, fuck your running backs.
Thanks, man. Feels good to have them. Not a lot of depth after they're dead, though.
All right. Now, with those, we see who won, who lost. We're going to go into now with the rankings. Starting in last place, the person who has the worst chance of making the playoffs right now, yours truly, Dex. Wow. Can't even say my own name. Dexter Michelle Beta at 2-6. I don't know if I've told you guys this before. I think I have. The odds of making the playoffs at 7-6 are like 85%. The odds at making the playoffs at 6 and 7 are like 20%. So I pretty much can't lose another game.
What are the odds of winning the championship if you start off 2-6?
Well, after this year, it's gonna be 100%.
It's not how numbers work.
You don't know that because you don't know if we have anyone who started 2-6.
That's true. I don't know that. That's a good
All
point.
right. Next is Mike and Miller at 3-5. So currently, us three are not in playoffs. And then at 4-4, going from highest points to lowest, Paul, Brad, Gabe, Charlie. So Paul with the most points at 4-4, Charlie with the least, which would make Charlie not in the playoffs currently right now. Then we got Daniel and Parker at 5-3. Parker with more points than Daniel. And at the top of the mountain,
You know who it is.
Serenovus. Dustin, how do you feel like right now? Like, what is your emotions? Like, what is your game plan going forward and knowing that right now everything is in your hands? You're like, this is up to you.
Clearly, getting second place is my goal. I don't want to win. I'm too humble.
So, which is funny because the way I look at it is now everyone should be fighting for a playoff spot on the opposite side of the bracket as you.
Yeah,
Because that's your best odds of winning this
Yeah.
thing. It's like as long as you're on the opposite side as Dustin, and you have better odds. If you're gonna play Dustin first round in playoffs, you're done.
Dustin, how
Yeah,
many
I
years
mean-
have you actually came in second?
only 2. The year after, I think I ended up in like 5th or something like that, like
Okay.
last year. But the other 2 years I got second place. I got like right up until the finals, and then lost for some stupid reason. It's just my destiny.
Alright.
So I like a bed. You know how our league works. The order of your rank decides what kind of bed you get when you
Yeah.
go on that trip every year.
Mhm.
And I'm always sleeping comfy.
Yeah.
Sleep is important to me.
We're shooting for the stars there, Dustin.
Yeah, can't miss.
Can't miss.
Parker, you messed up something, but I'll tell you later. All right, we're gonna go the trade deadline. And so not our fantasy football trade deadline. We're talking about the NFL's trade deadline and who this affected the most. We'll list off real quick. Charlie had Demaryius Thomas of the Broncos was traded to the Texans. Parker's Golden Tate went from the Lions to the Eagles, and then Montgomery on the Packers went to the Ravens, which helps or hurts, depends on how you look at it. It helps Paul's running back Adam Jones on the Packers is it Adam Jones? No,
Aaron
that's
Jones.
the cornerback. Sorry, Aaron Jones, whatever. All right, Dustin, who do you think benefited the most from these trades?
That's a good question.
It is. I'll ask Parker. Parker, who do you think benefited the most from these trades?
Definitely Charlie with Demarius Thomas going to the Texans. No doubt.
Oh
in my
yeah, I
mind.
agree with that.
What's your reasoning? Because then I'll tell you why I agree with you.
Basically, because Broncos suck as an offense. Texans are much better. Demarius Thomas is just going to have a better time there, especially after Will Fuller's out.
As a biased piece of shit, our offense isn't great, but it doesn't suck. We killed the Cardinals by a lot of points.
Oh yeah, what a
That's a
great
victory.
offense to kill the Cardinals! Wow.
But,
That's a victory. You might as well win the Special Olympics.
what is that bad? No, but my thing is, Demarius Thomas dropped a lot of balls for the last 2 seasons. A lot of the Broncos stands are like, this is because he went vegan, blah, 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 bullshit. Who knows? I think the best thing is, like, we've already seen what his floor is. So now on a new team, we can see if he can lift that up, keep going, and that gives him the most potential. Now with Golden Tate, he has the skills. It's just Matt Stafford throws it everywhere, which is kind of like, all right, now you're going to another team where they throw it everywhere. We don't know what's going to happen. Like, there's not really a go-to.
Wait, are you saying Golden Tate's this is an improvement?
No, I'm saying he went from a team to a new team with even more weapons. If anything, all this does to me is hurt Zach Ertz.
Tate is the go-to third down guy on that team, dude. His like third down conversion is insane, like across the league, like going to him on third. Oh yeah, there's another next gen stat. Let's do it real quick. Who's the guy with the most points after or yards after catch in the league? By
Golden
the way,
Tate.
It's Golden Tate. Yeah. How we did
Is he
this.
your favorite?
Yeah. It's a bit of a meme to nut hug on the GT. The Golden
My
Tate.
favorite's Gostkowski.
Yeah.
So I get it.
Dex, who's your favorite player?
Are we talking about fantasy or NFL?
Fantasy.
Right now, it's Trubisky.
Trubisky.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't have a year-over-year nut-hugging guy that you just meme about?
Broncos D?
Yeah, definitely. For the new listeners out there, Dex paid, was it $200?
300.
One.
Was it $300 fucking dollars?
It was $100 for Broncos.
Okay, I
team.
don't even remember. I was shit-faced. Oh, yeah, I talked myself down from 300 in the bathroom.
He paid $100 for the Broncos D immediately after them being drafted in like the 9th round of the draft.
I've been very surprised that nobody has like tried to fuck me and like take them in like the 5th round.
First
I mean,
of all,
that's
we've
been a
definitely...
norm for the past 27 years of your life.
I'm actually 28 now. Thanks for remembering.
Whatever.
Birthday just happened
You
like
took that
2
the
days
exact
ago.
opposite
2
way
days
I was
ago.
going to. I was like, well, we've all tried to fuck you, Dex, first of all.
All right.
Anyways.
So, and then clearly Paul now has a running back who was a garbage bench spot to now a solid flex 2 spot with being the number 1 and go-to running back in Green Bay. But again, I don't know what the fuck goes on with Green Bay, and then Aaron Rodgers messes everything up for running backs.
I will say, as the Golden Tate nut hugger, I think it's like
Say nut hugger again.
nut hugger. It's a lateral to like a slight decrease in his productivity for now. Hopefully lateral.
It's the potential of targets there.
Yeah.
And the way Carson Wentz plays and the way that that offense plays, especially with their running backs and stuff like that. I feel like they are a very pass heavy to their tight end running back. But Golden Tate has that kind of size where he is very similar to a tight end. Faster. He's a stockier guy.
He's 5'10".
Yep.
Yeah, I just think
I'll tell you, Parker.
5'10", baby, best height.
Nice.
I think that overall, though, just like I would like him next year. Spoilers for potentially my rankings next year, but I think like in the short term, he's just not going to have that rapport yet, and it kind of just sucks. His productivity will probably. I mean, to be honest, his productivity hasn't been that great this year overall. Lots of sub 10-point games. So I don't know. Could be better.
Well, that was our trade deadline segment. Now we're going to go into Fab. Parker, what's Fab?
What is Fab? All right, quick Fab segment. Let's see. Daniel busting out the $20 for Cortland Sutton. He beat $20 for Cortland. Daniel also has like the most fab out of everybody in the league. He's got $54 left after spending.
20 on one player.
Did he buy anybody else this week?
Nope.
Dude, he just went all in on one guy. What the fuck is your waiver wire strategy, Daniel Masters?
Who? Sutton?
Yeah, Cortland Sutton, Denver Broncos
Wait,
receiver.
damn it, Parker! I was gonna ask him what team does he play for.
Oh, he doesn't know. We all know that.
I know Sutton.
You know
I
Sutton?
Yeah?
looked at him. Yeah,
Okay.
I could have got that.
Yeah?
Could've got that.
Yeah.
How much fab do you have, Dustin?
Hey, let's have a segment where we ask me who somebody's team is on.
Dustin, who's DeAndre Hopkins on?
Texans.
Well,
Austin Hooper.
Who?
Austin Hooper.
LA Rams.
Nope, Falcons. You dumb.
Oh,
fuck.
Hooper's Falcons. I knew that. I had him.
Who are
Duh.
you thinking? Melvin Gordon.
Chargers.
Yeah, I was about to say you better know that one.
Yeah.
All right, going on the next.
Hold on. Stephen Curry.
Not playing.
He's not playing in the NFL, correct?
Oh God, I as soon as I heard your keyboard typing, Parker, and you just said that, I was like, did you just Google basketball player?
I was like Golden State point guard. I couldn't remember his fucking name, dude.
Hey, I'm proud of you for knowing what team he was
I'm
on
proud
and
of me.
position.
You know what kind of like on the spot shit that was just now? Scary. I was scared, but I know.
All right,
better.
all right. We got to keep going. All right, Parker, keep this
All
going.
right, all right. So Daniel beat out Dex and Charlie, both trying to buy him. Surprised that Daniel snaked Cortland Sutton off of the Broncos nut hugger Dex. Wow. what a
Well, I
surprise.
only have like 34 fabs, so I
You're
bid
talking
11.
to me.
All right.
I got 18, I think.
We had a surprising 3 players trying to get Austin Hooper. Gabe won out with an $8 bid. Austin Hooper off his buy. Fitzpatrick also went to Gabe, totaling $19 in fab spent. Gabe spent $11 on Ryan Fitzpatrick. Nobody else bid on Fitzpatrick. So that's always a great feeling when you wake up to that. I'll tell you though, like sleeping last night after not putting any bids in, money. I haven't slept that good on a Wednesday since the season started. Dustin was unsuccessful on getting 2 of the defenses he tried to bid for, all for $0. Ended up with the Dolphins against the Steelers.
I was just like, whatever I get, I get.
Yeah,
Whatever.
you did get whatever because damn boy.
Hey, Brock Osweiler starting this week again. Go Devils.
Go
My
Devils.
boy.
How did he do his last game?
The last game, it was against the Texans. It was the game where he like had some good plays and some bad plays, and then fucking Deshaun Watson put up 31 on my
It'd be
bench.
cool to see him grow up slowly, like
On
become
your
a decent QB.
He fucked the Browns. The Bears. He's played the Bears for 3 different teams on his first start for each of those teams, all against the Bears, and beat them every time.
Really?
So his first start for the Broncos against the Bears, beat him. First start for the Texans against the Bears, beat him. First start for the Dolphins, Bears, beat him.
That's the next gen stat right there.
That is an
So
excellent
I
stat.
heard someone say they're like, they should just pass the Brock Osweiler around to every team that plays the Bears.
Please no. Please, as the Bears DST owner, please no.
Trade every
Um,
week.
Let's see. Finally, last
Nope,
relevant.
This is wrong. I got Cowboys defense, just so you know.
You did? Oh yeah, I get you mixed up because your name is Dr. Champ's bitch.
Damn it. I get myself mixed up too sometimes.
So Dex went in on defenses this week. $5 for the Cowboys, beating out Mike, Gabe, and Dustin, also trying to get the Cowboys. Who are they playing this week, Dex?
The Titans.
The Titans.
Monday night, prime time.
That's the team to stream against,
So
brother.
a little next gen stat for you boys. On average, the Thursday night games have been some of the highest scoring games, and the Monday night games have been the lowest scoring games.
I didn't
It's
realize
also
that in Slack.
skewed. It's skewed by a lot because there's like a couple like really shitty games and a couple really high games. To be fair, with like if they took those out, it's pretty average to the rest of the league. So I'm banking on the Titans sucking again. We suck again. At least
You say that every week.
We suck again. All right, that's my fab segment.
that was fun. I enjoyed it. Now we are going to do the last segment that we always do at the end, and that is pick 'em. Now, Dustin, as our guest of the week, I'll ask you, Charlie versus Mike, who you got?
I got Charlie. Clearly.
Yeah, I got Charlie
do you-
too.
Why do you say it like that clearly?
Because Mike is the worst player. I think Mike is worse. Mike's team is worse than yours this year. and
What do you mean
happen
you
to
say
get
that
unlucky.
like that's a question?
Next gen stats. You called it here.
I'm also gonna take Charlie, but I'm whatever.
What?
All
Why?
right.
Why do you say that, Dex?
What did I say? What that I'm better
You're
than
taking
Mike?
Charlie.
I'm taking Charlie. I just like his. He's got some of his players back. Fucking Zeke off a bye and things like that. And Mike's team puts up shit every week. Like I don't know if he's had a week over 120.
That's what I'm saying.
He's projected 122.
Like
Parker,
the only
we
reason
talk about
you and Mike,
projections. Projections don't matter.
All right, cool. I'm glad that you're the one who said it this time.
I know. This fucker like putting out the bait for me. All right, Gabe versus Paul. Dustin, who you got?
oh Paul, all the way.
I got Paul. Same record though. Holy shit.
Same record. It's unfortunate, but I think Gabe's got lucky.
I'm going Gabe.
You're going
Do you
Gab?
guys want to know why?
Why is that?
Because you want Paul to win.
Actually, I want Paul to lose because Paul has this streak of like 2 hot games, 1 bad game, 2 hot games, 1 bad game, and he's on 2 hot games. All right, Dustin, Brad.
Clearly,
No, all right, okay. I was gonna say don't answer that. All right, Parker, who you got between Dustin and Brad?
I got Dustin on this one.
Yeah, I got you, Brad, all the way.
Hey, OBJ is gone. Like you can't take his first round pick out and think that he's gonna beat the number 1 in the league.
Hey, I'm number 2 in the league without my first round
Shut
pick.
the fuck up, Parker. You're out. Your first round pick my ass. All right, then let's go to Daniel Dex. Dustin or Daniel Dex. Daniel Parker. Dustin, who you got?
You know, my heart says Parker because I really need Daniel to just die.
Yeah, me too, dude. Me too. Is that what you're actually going with?
Yes.
That's what your heart and mind is doing. Fuck yeah.
Heart
I got
mind.
me.
Sorry, I thought I left.
So they
I
both
thought that was clear.
got Parker.
Yeah.
As I said last week, I thought Daniel would go undefeated. I thought he would win, be the highest scorer. I think he had a little hiccup. I think he bounces back and he breaks Miller's record of 165 and throws up 170 on your ass, Parker.
Holy
Which
shit.
will help your points against, which will be great. So Daniel's team is going to like come back with a vengeance, and we're gonna see him fucking. And all I gotta say, boys, if you see the train, get off the fucking tracks. Daniel, I got you.
That being said, I'm really happy that you chose Daniel. Parker, I'm just gonna log in a win for you. On my spreadsheet here.
Yeah, just ahead of time. Cool.
I don't
Thanks,
know
buddy.
what that's supposed to mean.
It means that you curse everyone
both of
that
you.
you
All
choose.
right,
No,
last
no way, no.
last one. Miller versus Dex.
Just keep
I
calling
want
like you
to
see
know,
that.
boys, who you got. Daddy Dex essentially can't lose again. Who you got? It should be noted before either of you answer, he will have Saquon Barkley and Joe Mixon both on a bye.
I'm gonna choose Dex because A, I love you. B, I'm gonna give you some of my luck this week, and you're gonna win it. You got it,
Dude,
I got you, bro.
I do actually think Dex takes this one. This might be the second time I ever vote for your team on the season, by the way, Dex, but I think you got this one.
And if anybody wants to bet against me, I'll put an ice on it. As many people who wants to bet it.
About any of these picks?
No, just Dex.
Okay.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, that's 3 people with votes for Dex. And as always, fuck Daniel.
Fuck Daniel.
Fuck Daniel.
I like to make money, get turned. I like to